Hey everybody, Mike from Sanco here. I am coming at you from downtown Reading at the Doubletree Hotel, where we are doing sound and lighting in the small ballroom at the Doubletree Hotel for Berks Jazz Fest 2026. It is a special 35th anniversary of the Berks Jazz Fest, and it's an amazing festival. So we're right here next to the Santander Arena and Hotel, and it's a great event, and we're going to walk you through some of the stuff that's going on here. So stick around and check it out. Our main PA this year, we're actually using our Meyer X40s over a pair of 900 LFCs per side. So the stage is pretty wide. It's 30 feet by about 16 feet in the center here. We also have our Meyer UPJs for front fills. We're doing a really good job at that, and that's all being processed by a Meyer Galaxy 408. For our wedges, we are using our SRX 712Ms. Wireless, we have Shure ULXD. We are actually using SM58s in this room. Just a little bit more forgiving. You can see how low the ceilings are. Not too high, and the 58s just kind of help with some of that high-end presence and cutting down on some of the reflections over like the Telefunken, but still works really, really well. So our drum wedge, we're using a K-sub and a K12 QSC right there. We use the K-sub just because it's narrower. It fits up here a little bit easier. So you can see monster bass amp, Aguilar 750. They sound great, but they're loud, and I do fill the room pretty well. So snare, we're just using a 57. Kick, we are using the Biodynamic D71. On our toms, we're using Sennheiser 904s. And then underneath, we're just trying to make this simple to keep noise down. We're actually just using SM81s on some Shure A56Ds. That's for hat, and that is also for just some overhead, a little bit extra, sizzle if we need it. Drums, I gotta move some of this stuff around. It got bumped. But for percussion, we're using SM57s and KSM 137. And on this side, we're going to be doing 2 mono keys and then a Leslie bottom and top mics for that. On the guitars, we got a Sennheiser 906. And on stage left, we have 2 sets of stereo keys. This is looking out at the room. So not a very deep room, but it does seat almost 280 people. And most of our shows in here have been sold out, so that's really good. I'm going to walk around here. Backstage area. I try to keep this clean, but towards the end of the week, it just gets a little chaos back here and crazy, so this is what we got. All right, so we have the wing on the monitors. We have some in-ears in here, so we're using a PSM 300, so these were used a couple times this week. And then we have we're using actually 10 channels, up to 10 channels of Shure ULXD. Like I said, we do have 4 horn mics that go out every night for the jam, and it's a rotation of horn players up and on the stage. So in here we got our power supply, we got our battery backup, and the X32 rack. This is actually just used for backup, so this is not being used, but it is in there if we would need to switch over in a pinch. It's there. So we got our 6 channels ULXD in this rack. We got our Fisher amps AL161 battery charger. We have a Meyer Galaxy and 2 PLD 4.5 for monitors, and then the DL32 down in the bottom, and second DL32 over here. This is for the monitor console, and that's being analog split. So workbox, Pro X, and then we have our antennas for IEMs, and then we have our antenna over there for our ULXD. And trying to come in here and keep this as clear as possible. That's our Whirlwind 3-way split. This festival will only need to use 2 of the splits, so this thing is great. ISO splits. Not that ISO is 100% needed anymore, but or I shouldn't say anymore. Not that it's 100% necessary, but it does, help when you get some buzzes. You have the lifts and everything in there too, which is really nice. So we're also doing the lighting in the room. So we're using some box truss. It's bolted, which is nice. I prefer that over the spicketed truss. And we're using 12 pars, 12 18x18 pars in the back. And up front, we're using 2 18x18 pars to hit the front of the stage. And then we're just using our washes, 2-eye washes for the side of the stage here. They just do a really good job of kind of filling in the gaps and smoothing the light out. But overall, it looks pretty good in here. And photographers are happy with the lighting situation, so that's always a good thing. But that's a quick rundown of the festival, what we got going on this year. So Wolf Mix for the lighting, JBL Q Edge. Here's our packs with our mics. So these are all numbered and ready to roll. We just hand them off and go. Walk you around the room quick. So front of house, we just have a QLXD out here. That's for the MC, for the host when they announce the band. And M32 out front. And again, people ask us, why do you have the M32 out here, not the Wing? It works. I'm more comfortable on the M32, and we did have a couple band engineers this week, and they prefer the M32 over the Wing just because of familiarity and show files. So that's why we use that. It still sounds great, and we don't really exceed our channel count in here. I think the most we had was 30 channels in use at one time, but still works great, and it's still requested, believe it or not. and it makes us money. So until it stops making money, or when it dies, then it'll be time to get a wing, or Yamaha DM7, or I don't want to hate the Vantage, something in that realm. Backline area, and this is backstage. So got some hospitality back here, and food, but it's a really popular festival, and I don't want to say high pressure. It's not. We work with a lot of professional artists here, a lot of well-renowned jazz artists, and it has to be held to a certain standard, and that can get stressful right there in itself. And meeting tech writers and making sure the artists are happy, and the production schedule is pretty lengthy. It's pretty involved, and like I said, we are on a 16-hour day today. We're on a 16-hour day tomorrow, and last Friday, Saturday, we're about 16-hour days. So it's a long process, and it's worth it. It's a great festival, and I think the one thing we like about this festival is it's kind of it's very family oriented. So you feel like a big family bond, and we get to work with a lot of the same artists year in and year out, and we're all familiar with each other and respect each other, and developed a lot of good relationships. And this festival is fantastic for that. So the Meyers, why did we use the X40s this year? I wanted to try something new, and the Danleys definitely a little bit more focused on pushing sound forward, and they sounded amazing in here. But the X40s are a little bit, I think, better for this room. You can kind of see if you look at the row of chairs. The X40 horn it's 100 by 50, so it really kind of covers the area really nicely, and just a little bit wider coverage than the SM80. But other than that, I mean, both rigs sound incredible. The 900's a little bit more compact with a single stack, and I had some questions about this before, so let me go back over and I'll show you, take a look at it. So we have try to keep sight lines clear in here, and we talked about putting some lead goes out, but we still want to maintain space, and we don't really want to hog the back wall up. So what we do is the American DJ flex stands here. These plates work very well for doing like a combo speaker mount and a light mount. So that's what we got going on right here. So we had the plate on top of the 900, and the plate is strapped down and very secure, and it really does a nice job and keeps the area and sight lines clear and looks nice and tidy in my opinion. We do also put some tape, some spike tape on the corners of a gear, because not that it's pitch dark in here, but you know what it's like when in a darker room people walk around. We want it to be safe and secure. But this is a rundown of our stage. This is the small ballroom here at the Doubletree Hotel in downtown Reading, Pennsylvania, and I think it's our 5th year here, and it's one of those festivals I love doing, and we got a great team on it. And tomorrow when we load out of here, I'll try to capture some of that, and basically what will happen is we'll have a 4-man crew ripping down and packing our stuff, and then the crew will also be here. We should have 2 or 3 crew members, and the plan is to get out of here in 90 minutes to 2 hours, and it should happen. And it's amazing how quick it goes when we have a crew on everything. So great room. Actually sounds pretty good in here, believe it or not. We do get some bass traps in the corners back where the mixing console is, so you got to be very conscious of how you're mixing. So it sounds bass heavy back in the corners, but out front it is not as punchy as you think. So you gotta really kind of feel the room out and move around and listen to it, especially during sound check. So what I'll normally do is I'll sit here with an iPad or a tablet and just dial the room in for where most of the seats are, and pretty much anywhere outside those back corners sounds really good in the room. And it still sounds good in the corners, but it's just definitely punchier than you would imagine. But yeah, short room, lot going on here, and doesn't take much to fill this space up. But it's a great room, great vibes, and the crowds that come in here really enjoy these shows. And it's definitely more intimate than the large ballroom. And I can walk over there and I'll show you that. But two different feels. This is small, intimate, close, and lively in here. It gets a little rowdy during the jams, which is great. And it gives you that small concert experience with some really high-end quality music, which is kind of what I prefer. But overall, Berks Jazz Fest is a great event, and a great crew, and great team of volunteers that put this festival on. So really honored and proud to be here. Go out here and take a look around. Large ballroom. We're not doing this one, but our buddies from PA Audio are handling this room. Definitely big time vibes in this room. So got some Lanerays, Yamaha DM7, beautiful console, by the way. One of the ones we're looking at. Not the full size, just the compact. But this is it. Cool spot. Doing a little video log. I think it's fun. This is our load-in path. So when we load in, we come out here on the outside. I'll pop this door quick. The alarm will go off. But just to give you a quick shot, because this is what you will not see because we don't have time for this when we're setting up. But trucks are all parked out here. And we load in right through these side doors, and we push through the hall. Right out. Now it makes a huge difference when you have 6 to 8 people pushing. I mean, we can unload the trailer in about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes actually, and it's pretty amazing. I love the Fridays and Saturdays in here because the hotel is just alive. Actually had a little bit of a break today. I was able to get out and get some real dinner. Even though the hotel does feed us pretty well, and Berks Arts does take care of us, it's nice to get out of the hotel a little bit. Once you're in here for a number of hours, it feels like it's been days. That's this, man. It's getting busy in here now. So they got a big show ready to kick off in the large ballroom, and then our show's at 11 p.m. Actually, 11:30 p.m. This has been Sanko's home for the last 8-9 days. So we'll be out of here about 2 a.m. tonight, and then we'll be back in here tomorrow at 9. That's crew call, and the band will show up around 10. And then we have an early show. I think it's 2 to 3:30, and then immediately after that we have another show that band will be in here around 4 for setup and sound check, dinner, and then hit, and then we'll go to 10:30. And then as soon as that show is over, we will be cleared out. I will actually be sticking around the hotel for another day or two. We're doing some uplighting for the Olivet's Boys and Girls Club, which is pretty cool. So that's one of the perks. You do events and you network, and you start off doing smaller events and you get involved with some of these better events, and you pick up more clients as you go, and it's a great experience. One of my goals starting out doing sound was to get to this level. Even though it's not a crazy level, it's still a really, really good gig with a lot of responsibility. And like I said, I lose sleep over this stuff sometimes, planning and going through everything and making sure all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and it's it's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility, because if a show doesn't go well, it's kind of comes back on you. And when you're selling tickets, I think this ballroom, the cheapest ticket's like $45, so it's a pretty good chunk of change. So people, when they come out here, they expect a really good show and really good sound, and so far so good. But it's really important to me to be part of my hometown, and being involved in local events here, and been grinding this for a long time, and started out with Berks Arts on a smaller scale. What's up, Zach? How are you, man? Good, man. Jamming tonight?
Yes, sir.
Nice. So yeah, I started doing really tiny events for these guys, and the time came and they asked me if I wanted to take over this room and do some of their summer festival and concerts, and I was like, absolutely. It was a big goal, and got here, and it's been looking up, and things continue to grow. Sometimes it's almost too much, but really enjoy this. Now, some other cool stuff. So Elite Core got a couple extra power drops for this show, and I love it that they customized the cables. I don't know if you can see that, but logo with the actual length of the cable on there. We got our Whirlwind power drops in the front. And we do have our speak-on snakes out. They are actually under the stage, so that makes a huge difference when you are running monitors and cables. But there's your other power drop. So we got the Whirlwinds and the Elite Cores, and try to keep the stage as nice and neat as possible. But yeah, we do have 2 DI snakes, and these things are awesome, man. I'll tell you, when you're doing a festival and you have multiple keyboard setups, we can throw keyboards onto here, we can throw horns into here, whatever we need. We just quick drop on each side. So stage left, stage right, each has a DI snake. So take a look over here. There's another one, and these products have paid for themselves, and just in efficiency and economically, for setup, it really makes a huge difference. We are using the drum drop back there as well, and then forgot to hit this. We have a Mini 6 here, and that Mini 6 is just grabbing the percussion and some of the guitar amps. But that's it. This is 2026 Berks Jazz Fest, 35th year, and this is opening night for us. This is the late jam with Gerald Beasley, and we just had a major show let out in the large ballroom, and they're going to start trickling in here right now, and we're going to be running until about 1:30 in the morning. So,
how many of you is this your first jam
check it out
session with us? You're in for a treat. We got the master of disasters, Professor.
at sound check right now. First night of Jazz Fest. Night 2 at Berks Jazz Fest 26, and we're getting ready to start second night of the jam here. So it's 11:30. We'll be here again until 1:30 in the morning. So getting ready to start here, and stick around. It's 1:40 in the morning on Saturday night, Sunday morning, so it's a wrap here for the second night of the Berks Jazz Fest late jam, and we'll be back here on Monday, and the week will continue. So see you soon, and stick around. We're coming at you from Berks Jazz Fest here. It is the second to last night, and I'm gonna walk you guys through what we have going on here. So let's take a look. Checking right now. It is Friday here at Berks Jazz Fest, and got today and tomorrow. So 16-hour days today and tomorrow, and then tomorrow night we're out. But right now we're checking with Everett Harp and Joe Beasley Band. Volume in the room is great. Done here for the afternoon. I'll be back here at 9 o'clock for the third and final late jam, but this is a quick look overview of our schedule. So it's pretty intensive. We had to be here at 9 o'clock this morning, and we'll be here till probably about 2 o'clock tonight, and then we're going to be back in here at 9 o'clock again for a band. So there's a lot going on in these stages, a lot, and it's a small room and low ceilings, and it can get pretty hectic pretty quickly. So we utilize a lot of high pass filtering, a lot of low pass filtering, and it's just kind of what works in the room. We'll just kind of give you guys an idea what we're doing here. We used to get really involved in kick in, kick out, snare top, snare bottom, and a lot of the guys that are playing like the stage volume pretty hot, and so we actually scaled back on a lot of the stuff that we're doing. But for example, like percussion, some of our EQs, nothing crazy, but just some pretty aggressive high pass filtering, and we just pretty much get rid of what we don't need. So I'll take you through here, just even a bass, for example. So yes, the bass is high passed pretty hard for what you consider a bass, 121 hertz, and we have a lot of the bass chopped out of the subs because in the room they're using a dual 10 cab Aguilar, and it rips. I mean, it sounds great, but it fills the room up. So what we use the PA for in this case is just clarity, really just to push some clarity and detail out, and we let the bass cabinets fill the room. That's what they like, and that's what we do. And so far so good. It's been working for several years. Everybody's happy, and that's that. So we are running 2 sets of stereo keys left, and then 2 stereo keys right. And you can see the keyboard setup. We're going to be a little bit different for tonight's jam. We're actually going to be using a Leslie up there, so we'll actually probably switch back to mono on the main keys. And we have 4 horns going all the time. So what we do with that is I think we're using 10 channels of Shure ULXD, and in that instance we have a bunch of Shure 98s wireless, and our stage manager will hand off packs for horns on the side of the stage over there, and he'll signal to us what pack the person's on. And it's pretty much just grab and go. It's pretty high pressure, but it's constantly rolling. So just horn, for example, that's what our EQ looks like, So yeah, high pass, low cut, around 200 hertz, because there's nothing in a lot of these saxes that are going below that, and just shading some of that high end off so it's not too bitey, but sounds great. That's a basic mix scene. Again, nothing crazy, not a lot of inserts, not a lot of plugins. We just kind of mix straight up in this room and make it sound as good as we can. So once the stage is set, I'll come back in here or once the stage is clear, I'll come back in here and do a whole walk through what we got going on up there. But right now, Backline is setting up for the jam, and the previous act from earlier is moving out. So stick around, and I'll show you some more. Berks Jazz Fest 2026. All right, last show of Berks Jazz Fest, getting ready to kick off here with Dance Hall Docs, and another sold out show in this venue, and it's been a good time, and I'm tired, crew's tired. We are looking forward to this show and getting out of here tonight and getting some much needed rest. So I'll try to get some footage if I can, but let's see what happens. A lot of talk about consoles too, and there's no wrong or right answer. I guess basically, what console are you comfortable on? Because that's what's going to sound the best in your hands. So that's why I use the M32, because I'm comfortable with it. There's a lot that goes on here, and it gets very, very hectic. And I know around the M32, X32 really well, so that's why I like to use it. But I'm going to get back to this show here. Intermission's up in about 10 minutes, and that's probably going to be it. What's up, Rick? That's probably going to be it for my vlog here from Berks Jazz Fest. So thanks for watching, and I'll try to get some of the loadout in hyperlapse, and talk to you guys soon.
Serve as positive ambassadors to you, our guests. You truly are the heartbeat of the event. Now it's time for the show. Please welcome to the stage our host for this concert.
Welcome, 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 everyone. My name is Al Taylor. How you guys doing? You feeling good? All right. I can feel the excitement already in the air. It's in the air. The 35th Annual Berks Jazz Fest, we thank you all for coming and joining us, and we just appreciate you so much. There's going to be a party in here tonight. Yeah, that's what I was told. I've been told that. So I'm not going to hold you guys because I know you're ready. Make sure you get your drinks. Make sure you got your party shoes on. You got your party shoes on? Yeah, you're ready to hoot and holler and laugh and all about a whoop and bop and dip, right? That's right. All right. So listen. Tonight we're going to hear the music of Tower of Power and more. And more. I don't know what more is, but more. All right. We got more, guys. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and give them a big warm welcome to Dance Hall Docs, featuring Larry Braggs and Tom Bode.
All right, let's get it. Last one. So I got a rare set break, so I'm just going to kind of walk you through everything here. So basically 5 wedges downstage for horns and vocals. One of the vocalists is on in-ears. So I get to work with the singers of Tower of Power and Blood, Sweat, and Tears for this show, so it's actually pretty awesome. But there's our horn mics, all 5 of them. Got your vocal mics. Keys. Guitar, we're actually taking a direct out off his guitar amp. It sounds really good. Another wedge back here. Bass amps is coming direct. On the drum kit, we have SM81s for kind of over underhead and hat. 57 on the snare, 904s on the toms, and Sennheiser D71 on the kick. And just put some KSM 137s on the congas. And that's it. Got rid of the drum sub because these guys do not like a ton of noise on stage. and their stage volume is actually making it really, really easy to work. So that's a plus. It's definitely high pressure. It's definitely a lot that goes on, and it's grateful to be here, but also going to be a little relieved when we're done, because going to get some much needed rest. All right, so like I said, we have 5 horn mics, 7 vocal mics, and a lot of things that are hot up there. So this is an instance where I use a DCA, actually a couple DCAs just for some flexibility. So our first DCA is just for the vocals. So if I need to boost or raise, those have pretty much been sitting at Unity. I haven't really touched those. The horns, sometimes with the vocals, I'll pull the horns down a bit because I do not want to keep pushing the vocals and making the room louder, so we subtract. So we'll drop the horns down, or other things that are kind of competing, trying to cover up the vocals. So horn DCA, we got a drum DCA, so drum kit and percussion are on there. I have a DCA here for everything but vocals. So if it's a lower vocal passage, or someone is not, projecting, I can drop this down a couple dB and put the vocals back on top of the mix. So that's one of the tricks, you learn over the years. Don't try to make something louder. I mean, there's certain points where you have to make things louder, but there comes a time where your volume in the room is solid and you don't want to make it louder, so you got to drop everything else down around it. So in this particular setting, I'm using this to pull everything down. A lot of talk about consoles too, and there's no wrong or right answer. I guess basically, what console are you comfortable on? Because that's what's going to sound the best in your hands. So that's why I use the M32, because I'm comfortable with it. There's a lot that goes on here, and it gets very, very hectic. And I know around the M32, X32 really well, so that's why I like to use it. But I'm going to get back to this show here. Intermission's up in about 10 minutes, and that's probably going to be it. What's up, Rick? That's probably going to be it for my vlog here from Berks Jazz Fest. So thanks for watching, and I'll try to get some of the loadout in hyperlapse, and talk to you guys soon. So I'm going to turn the camera around and do this more, so it's more personal. And I think you start doing sound, and you start out as a hobby, and it's kind of, I'm just doing bands and bars, and it was cool, and sometimes I miss that because it was just low stress. You just show up, do the gig, and you go home. Like I said, one of my priorities was to continue to build in this and get here to Berks Jazz Fest. And I knew the person, the man who ran the stage before me, and he retired and got out of sound. And they asked me if I wanted to take over, and I said absolutely. And you realize at that moment, like, oh wow, I'm actually meeting some of the goals and some of the standards I set for myself, and it's been a really great ride. And like I said, I think this is the 5th year here, and seems to get better and better every year. And we move into bigger and better events, and I think that's the way things grow. And it's just nice to be able to be here, and we get to work with world-renowned artists, and man, it is just such a eye-opening experience, and almost always it's been a positive experience. Like, everybody here has been super awesome and super chill to work with, and like I said, it's kind of like a family. Like, you work with these guys year in and year out. There's the regular guys that are here, like the house bands and everything like that, but we build these relationships and friendships with these guys and girls, and it's just it's an awesome experience. And there is that mutual respect for each other, and I think that's what makes this event awesome. Like, it's not just a show where the band comes in, you say hi, you get sound checked, and you go. This is more of a lasting relationship, lasting friendship, and I think that's why events like this really make a difference, and really great to be part of. We see the same people and fans coming in here year in, year out, and they're traveling from Florida, New Orleans, like they're coming from all over the place, Canada. It's really great, and like I said, we were just honored and happy to be part of this, and it's I couldn't ask for better, festival to be part of. And really proud to be working with Berks Arts. And, we do several events with them throughout the year, from their Summer Fest to some other individual events that pop up. And it's been a great experience. But this is Berks Jazz Fest from the small ballroom. And hope you guys enjoyed it. Ask any questions you'd like, and I'll respond. And thank you for watching. All right, that's a wrap from Berks Jazz Fest 2026. So it's about 12:30. Took us just about 2 hours to completely tear down and push out and load, and we're ready to pull out of here. And it was a great week, and love this event. We had tons of compliments on the sound. We actually had some national artists pop in and actually compliment the last show here, because they were standing out here for Marcus Miller, and they said it sounded amazing. So that's really cool to hear from people, and just the compliments from the fans and people in attendance, and working with great organizations and great people, and that's it's what makes this really fun. It's work, but it's fun. And this year we have a bunch of bigger stuff coming up. We're actually on one of the biggest events we've ever done, and they're expecting 10 to 15,000 people, so we have some stuff in the works for that. It's going to be pretty crazy. I'm going to hope to document some more stuff this year. It is hard with the events that I do. Constantly busy and just having downtime and being able to do it. So I'll do it when I can and do the best I can with it. But thank you for watching. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll answer them as best I can. And thanks for watching. See you next time.